Today we're going to talk about the Prophet Jesus and what the Muslims believe about Jesus. So as a part of the belief system of Muslims is the belief in the prophets, that the prophets are there as men that God has chosen specifically for the mission of guiding humanity. So the Muslim understanding of prophets is that they are people of very high caliber, of very high moral character, that they are really behaving and doing things in the best way that they can, and they're really infallible in giving us the message that they were tasked to give. And so they would explain to us with scripture and explain to us with guidance and show us with a very high moral character how to worship God and how to believe in Him. And so the Muslims understand and see that there's a lot of prophets that came, and that God sends these prophets to help us understand how to worship Him and how to believe in Him and how to go forward with that belief. One of the very interesting things is that the Prophet Muhammad had mentioned that 120,000 prophets walked the earth, or some number in that range is 120,000 prophets were sent to the earth. And they all help and teach us and guide us the right way. And among these prophets is the prophets of the Abrahamic lineage, which starts with Abraham and splits off with Ishmael and Isaac. And from there we know the prophets of the Abrahamic lineage that we see and we know. And we come to the prophet through Isaac. Of course, we come through Jacob and through Joseph and Benjamin and the tribes of Israel, and then we come to the prophet Moses and Aaron, and later Solomon and David, and finally Jesus and John and Zechariah. And as we look at these prophets and we see them, we get to know them and recognize them very well. And then we see the prophet Jesus himself in the Quran is mentioned as one of the greatest prophets of God, and it talks about there's one chapter in the Quran called Mary, and it talks specifically about the virgin birth and how Jesus was born miraculously, and after his birth, that Mary took him to the village, and when they asked her who this was, she just pointed to him. She did not speak, and Jesus spoke in the crib, and he said that I am a prophet of God, and that I am the prophet of God. And he mentioned that the Quran mentions that and tells us about this. And there's another chapter in the Quran that talks a lot about the family of Mary and the birth of Jesus, and just tells us more and more information about that. So it's as a function, as a part of the faith of a Muslim. So as part of the faith of a Muslim is the belief in Jesus as a prophet, and its belief in Jesus and the love of Jesus, as well as the love of all the other prophets. So that is today's discussion about Jesus. I hope this was beneficial, and I hope to meet you in another video very soon.